Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the future of on-demand mobility, the Bell Nexus.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Drennan. I'm the VP of Innovation at Bell, and I'm really glad to be with you this morning to talk about the future of mobility. So our Bell brand connects us to our legacy, and it connects us to our future. And both have been bright spots in Bell's history, and we're looking forward to bringing vehicles like this into that next step. You can see here up on the screen some of our legacy innovations, from the first commercial helicopter, to the lunar lander, to the first jet, and of course the first production tilt rotor. And today, we plan to use that great tradition of innovation to solve real-world challenges together and bring solutions like the Bell Nexus to bear on those challenges. Today, we all know that traffic is a part of our lives, maybe every morning, every evening. You may have even found some on your way to Atlanta and the convention center today. And the reality is, we're not going to solve these challenges with a road-based solution. The road-based transportation solutions will never be clean enough, never scale enough, never be affordable enough to truly support the growth of our communities. And these challenges are worldwide, and they're challenges that won't go away. So if we keep addressing them in the same way that we did yesterday, we'll get stuck again. It requires innovation to solve these problems. Innovation with new mindsets and new vehicles that not only transport people from point A to point B, but create new career fields and open up opportunities in our society that weren't otherwise available. So we're creating concepts of mobility like the Nexus, like the ACT over to my left, in order to move people and goods more efficiently and more effectively through our airspace. So we say people and goods, and what do we mean by it? So we're going to look at a couple use cases together with a couple liveries on board. One, a logistics livery. Maybe this is a 3PL or an e-commerce company. Maybe we could even do an EMS mission. Maybe even a parapublic mission. So the vehicle is ready for that. We talk a lot about air taxi, but there are many more options for a Nexus vehicle like you see on the screen and to my left. So what does it mean for you? Here we're at a B2B, but you also want to know what it means to your family. Well, it means there's going to be vehicles like this moving through the airspace quickly, quietly, and stood up on a ride-sharing model that is familiar to you today on the ground. So you just saw a family jump on board. I don't know about you, but I like my vacations to begin when we're packing, not begin when we arrive. And a lot of times the tension of a vacation is created by the moments of getting to the airport. So imagine now with me, you and your family jumping on a Nexus and coming to ground at the airport for a smooth flight that would have maybe taken you an hour, and now takes you less than half of that time. You're watching the traffic below and loving the fact that you're here with your family and starting your vacation when it should start, actually the day before when your work stopped. So this next scenario we're going to take a look at is a scenario that involves an entrepreneur using the Nexus in a logistics moving mission. So you see the entrepreneur here loading up a pallet onto the Nexus. The Nexus has a modular fuselage design. So what you see here up on the deck with me is a seating arrangement for an air taxi mission. But we can also take those seats out, present a flat floor and a track system to perform these logistics missions. And there go the goods up and away. So what's happening? You're saying, well, they're saving time, saving money. But there's an efficiency factor, a productivity factor that now has overlaid on top of this gentleman's team. So those folks can concentrate on the rest of their mission, maybe bringing more goods on same-day shipping, maybe bringing more touch time with the customer instead of spending time using piloted vehicles and more larger vehicles inside of their logistics system. There you saw it unloading and a great success story in that as well. So the next piece I want to talk to you about today is the technologies. So let's talk about the technologies on the vehicle. And first of all, with our partners. We have formed Team Nexus, and it consists of first Safran, who's also in a booth to our right here today. And Safran and Bell have been working on advanced hybrid and more electric propulsion solutions together for years. And they are bringing that innovation, that creativity, and their great legacy to bear on the Nexus vehicle. We also have Moog on board. Moog is creating the flight actuators for the vehicle. You can see those now on the screen. Moog and Bell have a great working relationship as well across our military and our commercial applications. These are EMAs. So again, a more electric aircraft not only means more electric propulsion, but more electric actuation and control. In the next partner example, we're going to talk about Garmin. Garmin has partnered with us for the Avionics. I think that's where you know and are most familiar with them in the helicopter space, but they're also bringing a vehicle management computer on board that will root us in our future autonomy efforts and control navigation, communication, the guidance, and then system management altogether. So think the brain of the system, the what are we going to do, and now if I shift to our next partner, Thales, it's the how we're going to do it. Thales is presenting and producing our flight control computers for us, and they have a long legacy of fly-by-wire in the fixed wing part of the market, but they're also ready to get on board with us here at Nexus. If you see, Nexus now is converting into airplane mode. Here to my left, your right or center, she's coming into full airplane mode as well, using those controls from Moog and Thales, and really the whole Nexus team. Last but not least is our energy management company called Electric Power Systems. And they are providing energy management throughout the system that couples mainly a large battery pack with our hybrid electric propulsion system on the Nexus vehicle for safety, redundancy, and efficient performance. Really excited about Team Nexus. I can see most of them here out in the crowd. So if you have a chance, talk to them about how collectively we're creating a new breed of aircraft and the backbone of urban aviation together. So when we talk about on-demand mobility, we can't just think about single point-to-point travel. These are vehicles that have to integrate into our communities. And in order to integrate into our communities, we have to work on the frameworks that drive success together. So it just doesn't become another way to get from point A to point B, but a safe way that can break down societal barriers, an efficient way that can give you new opportunities. And we talk about frameworks that we present to the community in order to create that safe, quiet, and affordable vehicle. These are the 3 KPPs that our communities are looking for so that we can bring Nexus to a larger customer set, not just the B&B set that we're used to here at an HAI, but a much broader set of customers that could use this day-to-day in their commuting time. So let's dig in. You said framework, Scott, so what did I mean by that? Well, we do 4 frameworks: operational framework, regulatory framework or certification framework, the manufacturing framework, and technology. And we put technology last, and I've already talked about it enough, because it's the easiest to talk about and probably the one that gets done first. These other pieces are tough. So the operational model, let's think about what that means. How does Nexus fly through the airspace? How does it interact with other vehicles that already exist and other vehicles of its type that will exist? How does it interface with the infrastructure? How does it interface with the cities themselves and the other modes of transportation? So we also talk about the regulatory framework. The regulatory framework, we can't forget, is not just about the type certification of the vehicle or the technology. It's about the production certification of the vehicle, and it's about the continued airworthiness of the vehicle. So there's 3 pieces to certification. And in our approach, we'll be addressing all of those just like we do with all of our other vehicles. The other thing that we're doing in certification is going early and often to all the certification agencies around the world so that they know what we're trying to bring to bear on this new market in the future, instead of waiting and then launching new technology at them and asking for something. So we're in a cooperative approach. Now on the manufacturing side, we're really excited about this too, because there are all kinds of new opportunities here. Ducted fans, smaller prop rotors, electric distribution, high voltage energy management. And when we look at the manufacturing factories of the future, you'll notice more mechanized machines that aren't quite like an automotive rate, which is hundreds of thousands over and over again, but in a new rate for the VTOL industry of thousands of vehicles a year rather than just hundreds. So you want machines that can do multiple things rapidly and interfaced with the factories that we have today. And there's all kinds of great technologies that include how to bring rapid prototyping philosophy into the factory with you, how to bring costs down now, because really safety and quality, they're just table stakes because we do those every day. The manufacturing piece now has to focus on bringing those costs down to reach that new customer set that we talked about earlier. So just to close out again on the last framework, the technology framework, I want you to do a takeaway with me that we started thinking about you with this vehicle. From the seat that you'll sit in today, all the way out to the ducts. This is a machine engineered for our customers. So some of you might talk about the timeline with us. Well, this is Jetson stuff, Scott, and you remember that was in the 2060s. But we believe there are certified operational models of vehicles like this, an unmanned logistic vehicle off to the side, in the mid-2020s. So let's come and make that journey together. We have a few other pieces that you can introduce yourself to. Over behind Nexus, a VR piece that will kind of fill out this story, and then ACT, our unmanned logistics vehicle, over to the left. But let's close, and I'll take some questions by reminding each other why Bell is here. We are here to change the future of flight and to solve real-world problems so that we can move ourselves, our goods, and our data more efficiently, safely, and effectively through the world. So thank you for your attention today, and I'll field some questions with you if you have any.